Back in college, I could not find the point of life. I I had a happy college experience, but I also had a very I was going through a crisis where I would hang out with my friends and have fun all day and then go home and lay on the floor and stare at the ceiling and ponder why am I here? What's the point of any of this? My mental health was low. And I thought I didn't know that there was a way out. Did not know. But then the answer kind of found me. And I'm blessed it did. The answer to the problem of why I felt like there is no meaning or purpose to life. It all came down to 6 things. 6 elements I put into my life that has allowed me to turn things around and live a flourishing life. Not one where I feel like I'm just existing and I hate it. I don't know what's the point. No, I wake up every morning with energy. I love being out here. I am flourishing in many areas of my life. And before I wasn't. And it's because of these 6 things. And I'm going to give them to you. I'm going to give them to you. When you get these 6 things, happiness will just be a natural state. And when I say happiness, I really mean your well-being will just be good. And you'll be flowing through life. Like, of course, I go through down moments. But they're moments. They're not all the time like it used to be. Like, I go through the full range of emotion instead of being stuck in one thing, which at the time was sadness and existentialism. Like, it was horrible. But that won't be the case for you anymore. You're not going to have any more anxiety on whether or not you're moving forward in life because you know you'll be. That empty feeling you have, that's going to be full because you're going to be putting meaning into your life. Oh my God. And now, hopefully, you are ready to begin to learn. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to drop these 6 things on you. The first one being a realization you gotta understand. There are 2 lifestyles we can live. That we have a choice in the matter of what we're living. There's 2 lifestyles. And you only know one. There's a second one. And this became so evident when yesterday, I hopped on the call with a girl who was interested in working with me. And we're having a conversation, and in that she says, she said, I want to live my dream life. But I feel like I have to live this life first before I can get there. And immediately I knew what she was talking about because everybody knows the lifestyle we don't want to be living, that we're currently living. The path of going and getting a job and then just working and having a few days off and not really doing much but falling off from what you want to do, wasting time, not growing, staying stuck, getting older and realizing you're not getting any step closer to where you want to be at. We all know what that is and we're all afraid of it, but we're all living it. And why? Because nobody taught us the second way of living. How many people do you talk to who are asking about deep concepts that actually make you think? How many times have you walked from somebody and thought, I really learned something that shifted me and I'm actually going to take action on this? Because I wasn't getting that. Definitely not in college. In college, all I did was stay up late. And I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Like, I wanted to start a business, but I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know I really could. Like, it was too hard. I didn't have any motivation. Like, I wanted it, but I just didn't do anything. Then I got in with people who started talking differently in my ear. What I mean is, I accidentally found books that taught me the second mode of living. One that I call the flourishing life. So there's 2 lifestyles you can be living. The average lifestyle or the flourishing lifestyle. I ain't got to go into much detail about the average lifestyle because we all know what that is. So I'm going to talk about the flourishing lifestyle. The flourishing lifestyle is when you are literally flourishing in the areas of your life that mean something to you. For example, me. I'm flourishing in my relationships. Just yesterday, 2 days ago, I called my brother, one of my older brothers. I called him And we sat on the phone and talked for like 40 minutes. And I love him. I love him so much. And he was just yapping. And I love it when he starts yapping. He tells me about his thoughts. And like, I just get to be in his life. It warms my heart. Just thinking about that now, I have more moments of warmth and connection in my life. And now being outside, like, movement is important to me. And look, I'm out here getting this beautiful view, smelling this wonderful air, getting the good sunlight on my skin. Like, when you're flourishing, you're growing. You're doing what you want. You're happy with how you're spending your time. And I'm so happy you clicked on this video, because I'm gonna show you how to get that. I just needed you to understand that there is something better. There is something different that you can choose. You have more power over your reality than you think. And look, my bad, my throat is dry. I work a 9 to 5. So you can't even make an excuse of, oh, I don't have time for what I want. Back when I was in college and working at Walmart, 40 hours full time, I still was growing. I grew a TikTok skateboarding page. You can make every excuse in the book, but excuses don't matter. And it's not your fault. I mean, we live in an average lifestyle, but that's okay. Because now you understand the first thing is that you can live a different lifestyle. No matter what's going on in your life, you can live a different lifestyle, a flourishing lifestyle where you're connected with yourself and living a life that's true to you. That leads us on to the second thing, which I have in here. Let me find it. Please wait. It sounds so nice out here, don't it? All right. How do we live a flourishing lifestyle? It all comes down to one word: PERMA. Now, before we dive into it, let me give you a little bit of a backstory. This concept comes from Martin Seligman. He is the father of positive psychology. What is positive psychology? Basically, the study of happiness. The study of happiness. Martin Seligman figured out that happiness, what do you think about happiness? Like, what is happiness to you? It's when your life is wonderful. It's just an emotion, like you're happy. That's not happiness. Happiness isn't one thing. Like the weather. What is the weather? It's not one thing. It's a combination of things that create it. It's like the humidity. It's the precipitation, the clouds, the condensation. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? It's a combination of things that create it. And happiness is a combination of things that create it. Now, it's not just, it's different elements. And those elements are PERMA. PERMA. So if you can add more PERMA into your life, which I'm going to break down in this video, you will experience happiness. But I don't want to keep saying happiness in this video, because it paints a picture of you having to be all the time. Like, you have a bias towards happiness. So we're not talking about happiness. We're going to switch it to your well-being. Okay? Living a life where your well-being is high. It's wonderful. And you're flourishing. You're not happy. Your well-being is high. Okay? Let's start with the first one, P. Make sure you're taking notes on this, because you got to add these into your life. And let me tell you, don't try to change drastically, okay? You don't just water a seed once and it grows into a full-on plant. You nurture it and give it time. So take these elements and give yourself time to get used to and bring it into your life. Pick one thing and add it into your life. And give yourself 2 weeks before you pick another thing and add it in. Give yourself time to get used to it, or else you're going to commit to too much, get overwhelmed within 3 or 4 days. Your motivation's going to burn out. and you're gonna fall off and crash, and you'll never get out of the average lifestyle. Okay. P. Positive emotions. Yeah. Your well-being isn't... Hold on, I got something in my shoe. Golly. Ooh. So much sand is coming out. Okay. Positive emotion. Now, your well-being isn't only about being ha 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 ha, but it is a part of it. You want to experience more positive emotions, and there are ways you can do that. Now, I'm not telling you to be toxic positive, okay? And we're going to dive into that in a little bit. But just yesterday, I went to the office because I needed to get some information, but I couldn't tell my coworkers why I needed it. It's just like a secret mission, you know? Hold on, there's a car. I don't like talking when there's cars around me. I don't know. But anyway, so I walk into the office, and the lady I need to talk to, I approach her and I say, hey, can you show me how to basically do your job? And she said, why? And I said, I just want to know. And everybody stopped and looked at me. And I'm over here like, I just want to know. Guys, and they're all like, you're lying. You're lying. And one girl's like, yeah, look at you. You're smiling. You're laughing. Of course you're lying. But then one girl, she said, nah, Faith is always smiling. She's always in a happy mood. And I'm like, yeah. You know, like, life is wonderful. Like, I can't lie. And it's not like a happiness, but you can feel my energy. Like, it's good energy. It's good vibes. I'm in a good vibey state. And I'm in that good vibey state because I'm grateful for what I have. I have good relationships in my life. I have meaning in my life. I'm doing things that bring me joy. I'm prioritizing me. I'm growing. So of course I'm going to feel positive emotions, and the same thing will apply to you. You don't force positive emotions to come. You do. You live a flourishing life, and the positive emotions will come. If that makes sense. Like, it's not something it's a cause. No, you don't cause it. It's an effect. It's an effect. It's not something you cause. It's something that happens as a result of you doing something. So you can't just feel positive emotion if all you do is lay in your room and watch TV. Like, what are you going to feel doing that? You're more likely to feel positive emotion if you're outside in nature where we're supposed to be at, breathing in this beautiful air. You will feel positive emotion if you're out here experiencing this sunrise. It's beautiful. You know? So you gotta do more things. And the rest of the equation, PERMA, we'll get deeper into how you can do that. But I don't want you to think you have to force yourself to be happy. Like, I'm not forcing myself to be happy. I went down that path. Positivity is not it. We're not doing that. Now, one tool I do want to give you that will help you boost your positive emotions is just getting you into an environment of, not positive, but just in a higher vibrational space. Because I don't want you to think you have to be positive. I don't want you to think it's something, it's a vibe, it's an energy. It just is. Like, I don't want you to think you have to force it, because once you start trying to force it, that's when it becomes toxic. But the only problem is, we live in a low vibrational world. Like, and when I say low vibrational, I mean like low levels of thinking, low levels of feeling. I mean, when you get on social media, the news, you turn on TV, it's always negativity, or it's drama, or it's action, or it's like things that literally traumatize you. I was watching a movie with my brother, and there's this scene of this girl, like, literally stabbing this other girl in the back with an axe. And I'm screaming my head off, like, what the heck? Like, do you know how much stress that put through my body? Like, and over the week, I was scared, like, thinking about every girl coming at me, thinking she finna get me with an axe. Like, I was traumatized, low-key. But when you expose your mind to all that chaos and drama and things that just aren't good for us as human beings to see, we're gonna think in terms of, like, survival mode. Like, whoa, we got to survive, and we're going to be negative, and we're going to be narcissistic, and we're going to just be a dark storm. Like in our head. Our head is just going to be a dark storm. And that dark storm can only produce dark thoughts. And you're just going to feel dark things because you're thinking it. Like, but the world we're in, with the music we listen to, the things you talk about, the things that are typical to talk about, it's always low vibrational. So if you're starting to see now, you got to make a lifestyle change. Like, you have to expose yourself to high vibrational things. And if you can't expose yourself to that, then you just cut off the noise and be in silence. It's okay to be in silence. Did you feel that? That was silence. It's okay to be in it. Because it's better than filling your head with dark music, dark things, dark thoughts. That, like, if you're listening to a song that says, I don't want to be alive. I don't want to be alive. I just want to die today. Why do you have it on repeat? And I'm really bullying music, but I mean, like, in general, like, everything that's negative. I don't want to dismiss negativity, but I want you to think about it as, like, imagine you see a car crash and you're driving down the road. You can look at the car crash and say, oh, shoot, that's bad. You can acknowledge it, but you cannot focus on the car crash because you're driving down the road. And if you keep looking at the car crash, you're going to hit a car. You're going to make it worse. So you can recognize that's bad and then focus back on where you're going. You know? But anyway, you got to listen to more empowering things. And a way I do this is I read books that teach me something. I listen to more motivational things, more lectures that teach me something, or podcasts that are about self-improvement. Of course, I'm not anal about this. I spend like 80% of my time listening to things when I do listen, but most of the time I'm in silence, or I'll talk to people. I'll talk to my friends. We'll have good conversations. If somebody's talking negativity to me and I can feel like the low vibration, I'm just going to either move away from the conversation or shift it. But just be aware of what you're putting in your head. And I'm going to put in the description a little resource for your mind, so you can like get tapped into some empowering thinkers that can change the way you think and challenge the way you think. And I just challenge you to be more aware of what you're listening to, what you're hearing, what you're putting into your mind, and question: is this helping me grow, or is this keeping me in a low level way of thinking? I did that for a while, and that really changed the stuff I started listening to. But okay, that's the first thing: positive emotions. Do more things that will bring positive emotions or high vibrational frequencies into your life, which we'll get into more throughout this video. And be in a state of high vibration by exposing yourself to material resources. Like this video right now, this video right now is high vibration. Like, you're chilling. I ain't talking about, yeah, I'm gonna kill I'm gonna kill, you know, like, I'm just not talking about random stuff that don't matter. Like, we're just chilling. We're cooling, you know, real calm, real chill, high vibration. What's next? E, engagement. In life, we lock into things and we become one with it, where we have no thoughts and we're just doing it. We're flowing. Like when you're not driving a car, but when you're watching TV. When you're watching TV, you aren't thinking. You're just one with the television. You're in their lives for a second. You're like hypnotized. That is your natural way of being as humans. We get into the flow of things. Now, the only problem is there's two types of flows. A passive flow, like a passive flow of pleasure or stimulation, or an active flow of pleasure or stimulation. Most of us get a passive flow, and the problem with a passive flow is that to feel flow, you literally don't have to do anything. You don't have to work for it. You can watch TV. You can scroll on your phone for hours. Your time just passes by. And when you finish, you have nothing to show for yourself because you literally had to do nothing. There's no effort in that. So now you're living a life where you do nothing, you see no results, and you expect yourself to be in a high state of well-being. That's not going to happen, buddy. Hold on, let's go. I'm afraid that it's gonna hit me. I'm about to turn around. I'm tired of being afraid for my life. Now, what is at the flow? At the flow is what I'm doing right now. I'm walking. I've been walking for 46 minutes. You can see right here. It's 7:37 a.m. I'm recording, doing something I love. Time is flying by. It feels like I've been out here for 5 minutes. It's been 44. Crazy work. I'm engaged, and when I finish this and when I'm over, I'm gonna look at how many miles I walked. I'm gonna feel these good feelings going through my body because I'm doing something that's good for my body. I'm gonna be feeling love, and that's what I'm gonna get at the end of this walk, which I'm getting right now. I'm having fun right now, doing something that requires effort from me. And how can you do the same thing? How can you add more engagement in your life? Your hobbies. That's it. Get hobbies. What do you like to do? Maybe you like to write. Maybe you like to read. Maybe you like to go walking. Maybe you like to go working out. Maybe you want to learn an instrument. Whatever it is that you find interest in, do more of it. You're allowed to make time for your hobbies. You're allowed to make time to do things that don't bring you monetary gain. Work on a business. I mean, what do you want to do? What will engage you? Maybe you want to make money, you know? Figure that out and add that into your life, and you'll easily check off getting more engagement in your life, because then you'll be doing more things. So the next one is relationships. Humans are social creatures. We are like dogs. Life is more meaningful and colorful and wonderful when you have people around you who love you and who you connect with and who you have fun spending time with. We are drawn to that because, first of all, feeling alone, isolation, is a leading cause of death in human species. Like, being alone can kill you. It's more severe than smoking like 8 packs of cigarettes a day. Being alone, feeling alone. Imagine that. We are literally dogs. We are meant to be around one another. But we live in a world where we are cut off from human connection. We are cut off from that. We don't have to put much effort. We really don't. We can just text people. We can just call people. But most of us don't even call. Most of us don't even think to call. When we see people outside, we don't say hello to them. We don't take those small moments where we're with a fellow human being, someone we are one with. We don't even take the time to say hello. How are you doing? We're missing out on how much meaning relationships and those small moments of connection can bring us. Every single morning, there's a bus that rides past me. Every morning I see that bus, I wave. I can't see the guy in it. I don't know who it is, but I wave, and I always see a hand wave back. Every single morning, I see his little hand waving at me. And it's so wonderful. Hold on, there's your car coming. Come on. Anyway, always waving back. But one day, I was in Walmart trying to get out. My phone was like 5%, so I'm rushing. And I hear somebody saying, hey, excuse me. And then I'm like, I don't have time. But then I stop. I look over my shoulder. He's like, you're that girl who's always walking, huh? I said, huh? He said, I'm the bus driver. And in that moment, I was like, oh my God. Like, I forgot about my phone. I said, hey, like, it's nice to meet you. How are you? And like, we just connected in that moment. And when we said goodbye and I walked off, I'm smiling. Like, I'm feeling more alive because of that moment of connection. And it always started with me just raising my hand and waving to people. Look in people's eyes when you talk to them, smile at them, make an effort to socialize. And I'm going to challenge you to reach out to your friends and family more. Reach out to those connections that mean something to you. I'm going to challenge you to do that. And what I've done to make this easy is I created a friend. Hold on, I'm gonna stop because it's getting windy. So anyway, a way I like to stay on top of this is I made a friend and family tracker, and I'm gonna have it pop up in the video. But yeah, if I go a certain amount of days without talking to somebody, without reaching out, they go up. into the yellow, red, and then black. And if somebody gets into the yellow, that means I need to go ahead and call them. And that forces me to stay on top of making sure I reach out. Like that call my brother I told you about earlier, it only happened because I saw he was in the yellow. And I'm like, okay, I gotta get him out. So I called him to get him down. And it forces me to stay on top of that. So I definitely would recommend making a little tracker like that. Or just, I don't know, figuring out what works for you so that you can remember to reach out to your friends and your family and have moments where you're just talking to them. Because that will fill your life with so much meaning. I'm telling you, we are dogs. We are not cats. We don't do well with isolation. We need human connection to thrive. I'm telling you. That's why I visited my grandparents 2 days ago. I don't have to go visit them, and for a long time I didn't. But when I learned how important relationships were, I said, okay, well, I've got family in here in my town. I'm gonna go see them. And I forced myself to go. And in the beginning, it sucked. But over time, as I got to relearn my grandparents, because it had been a while since I've seen them, I started to relearn them and start to get more comfortable. And now I look forward to seeing them. I built such a deeper connection with them. I love them so much. I'm going to see them today. I'm going to see them today. And for a long time, I didn't experience that. Because I took for granted relationships. I didn't invest in them. But now that I do, I'm flourishing. My version of flourishing anyway. So yeah, reach out to your friends and family more. People matter. Next thing is meaning. We gotta add meaning into your life. Now let me recap real quick. You can live an average or a flourishing life. To live a flourishing life, you need to add PERMA into it. P is for positive emotions. E is for more engagement, more active flow. R is your positive relationships. Now M, meaning, adding meaning into your life. What does that look like? It looks like tapping into what you are naturally given. The talents only you have, that you just naturally came into this world and wanted to do. For me, it's writing. Always been writing. Writing literally is what has gotten me this far. Writing is what's making me a good speaker. I write so much. I mean, I've written thousands of blogs that have developed my thinking. I'm writing every single day. And that gives me more ideas and more ability, like a better ability to speak my thoughts, because I've already deeply reflected on it through writing. There's the car. I always get filled with so much anxiety that a car is going to hit me. And the faster they go, the faster my heartbeat. But anyway, meaning. What was I even talking about? Oh yeah, I was talking about writing. Yeah, writing. I do all the time, and it's gotten me this far. It's helped me so much. I'm doing what I love. But I'm not only just doing what I love, because if I just did what I loved, then that would just be achievement, which we're going to get to. That's the last step in PERMA. That would just be achievement, but we need meaning. There's another car coming. Hold on. Okay. So we need meaning. Meaning comes from when you add people to the equation, because like I said, we are the dogs of society. Relationships are a key component to everything. And so we're not going to feel meaning unless we know that what we're doing is having an impact. And you can only have an impact on people. So you have to do what you love, but do it in a way that allows you to help other people. So yeah, I spend a lot of time writing, but I'm always writing about deep thoughts that I can use to help others achieve their greatness and think differently and grow different beliefs and take action. Like, I wake up every single day and ask myself, how can I help you take action? How can I help you flourish in life? How can I deliver the best explanation possible that will make it all click for you? Because I know that you have ambition. I know that you know there's a different life you could be living. I was in your same position, and I didn't have anybody telling me this. I really didn't. until I found the person who was supposed to lead me down that path. And I took that rope and I ran with it. And now I'm at a state in my life where I found peace. Where I am right now, I'm at peace. If I die right now, I'm fine. And so I just want to share that peace with you. And that peace all comes down to some understandings you have yet to come across. But now, you're going to get exposed to all of that. Because I'm going to be breaking down everything to get you from where you are now to that flourishing lifestyle. And having that understanding in my heart, knowing what I'm doing, fills me like I have my purpose. I know why I'm waking up in the morning. I know what I was put here to do. Do you understand how much meaning that gives me? How fulfilled that makes me feel? To know that I'm not here just in vain. I'm not here just to exist. I'm here to leave a lasting impact on the ambitious people of this world. You gotta put meaning in your life. And the only way to do that is to sit down and really reflect. Ask yourself, what are you good in? What were you naturally good in? What are you naturally drawn to? Become your best in that. And ask yourself, how can you use that to help the good of humankind? That's it. And when you find the answer to that question, go all in. Find the time to work on that every single day. And you will have a deep source of meaning. And that is ultimately where most of your positive emotions are going to come from. That meaning in your life. Now, the next thing is achievement. And achievement is basically the same thing as meaning, but without the people on the other end. But even then, we still need people. Like, in the end, people are still important to every equation in PERMA. But achievement is when you do something, at the end, you get a prize. You know, like you get a little, you're like, ooh, I did that. Like, right now, I'm going for a walk. When I get back, I feel great. I got some good sunlight, exercise, moved around, made a nice video that I'm going to get to edit. Well, really make a few cuts. And then I get to listen to the video and watch how I did. And I'm going to be like, oh my God, I did that. Like that feeling of achievement, I'm going to feel that. Most people, though, they don't feel that. Because most people spend all their time, and this isn't a dig. I'm not speaking this in a place of like, oh, I'm better than. It's just like, that's what most people do. If you just look around, that's the average lifestyle that is so taken up in our society. Like, our society just watches TV all day. They don't read books. They don't go to the gym. I passed by Chick-fil-A and saw like 2 lines backed up. And then I drove past the gym and there was like 4 cars there. You know, like, we don't really care to do things that make us feel, we don't care to put in the effort to do things that are ultimately good for us. We just take the lazy route, which isn't our fault because we don't have dopamine in our bodies, which is another video I'll talk about. But we are prone to take the lazy route that is thrust upon us because the society we live in, to do nothing with our life while having the voice of ambition tell us we could do more, but not knowing how to act on it because we don't know how. And nobody's talking about it. You know what I'm talking, like, you feel where I'm going? So it's not your fault that you don't have achievement in your life. But now that you understand achievement is what matters, now it's time to really take my advice seriously and go all in on your natural talent. That is why I write every day, because that is my natural talent. That makes me feel achieved. Because when I look at the things I've created because of my writing, I feel so much pride and accomplishment. That's why it's so important to do what you came here to do, to feel that achievement. And now, because you're doing what you came here to do, and you link that up with doing it to advance humankind, to advance evolution, you have a powerful concoction. And it's gonna like splash in your face, and then like your well-being will be sky high. Plus, adding on having healthy relationships and being engaged in things that make time flow by. Time going by, you're just engaged, no thoughts, head empty, no anxiety, no nothing. And then at the end, you see a beautiful painting. And then you feel a deep sense of happiness flowing through your body. and you just experienced a flourishing lifestyle that will continue for the rest of your life. Boom!